Okay, I'm gonna start. Oh, okay, I didn't see you yet, so I can share on my page as well.
It's still loading.
All
It's
right.
directing us to Facebook. Hi, my dear friends. Good day, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. I am so excited because it's another edition of My Voice, Your Voice, a platform for authentic conversation. And I have here my friend who is zooming in from Lebanon, Sadika Kebbi. Join me, welcome my friend Sadika Kebbi. Hi, Sadika, welcome.
Hello, dear. Thank you so much for having me on your platform. It's such an honor and a pleasure.
What is the time now in Lebanon?
It is 10 p.m.
Oh my gosh. You see, I'm so glad and I am so blessed that you can
Oh,
sacrifice the evening to
I'm
be
so grateful for that.
home. So before we go to talk to our friend Sadika, I'd like to tell you who Sadika is. She's a corporate trainer and a workshop designer. She is known for her unique storytelling style. You want to read Sadika's books. She is also a TED speaker and a member of the National Storytelling Network in the US. Sadika is also, like me, an executive director with the John Maxwell team. She is also a certified speaker, coach, trainer, and teacher. She is the author of 2 books. The first one is an academic book and is entitled The Temptations of the Flesh in Madame Bovary and the Awakening. And the second is a collection of 20 short stories entitled The Hidden Face of Scheherazade. Did I pronounce it well? I read
Yes, yes, very good.
This one is phenomenal. I read the stories, I couldn't put the book down. Sadika has also published 2 research essays, articles, and many short stories in diverse national and international magazines. In 2016, she founded an NGO called Kum and San,
Yes.
which aims at coexistence, peace building, and bridging gaps between different political, social, and religious communities within Lebanon, mainly through storytelling. Based on her experience in public speaking and storytelling, she noticed how titles and labels fade away and eventually disappear once a human heart is touched. Her NGO's mission is also to empower women and youth. So my dear friends, you can understand why Sadika is on this platform, which is also to empower women and every other person. You are welcome, my friend.
Thank you so much, Anita. Thank you for having me and for this beautiful introduction. Thank you.
How are you doing at this time? What are you doing during this crisis to keep your body, mind, and soul together?
Well, first of all, I can tell you that for a certain time at the beginning when the lockdown was enforced, I kind of felt down for a while because I'm a people-oriented person and I love to interact with people face to face and physically. And this really affected me for a few weeks. But then with the Zoom platform and with all these social media platforms, I felt that I had a more powerful connection because I started connecting globally with people. It wasn't only with the Lebanese only, but it was people from all over the world. And this gave me hope because I felt that uh, the bridges are being built between Lebanon and the States, Africa, all the continents, by the way. And this was so empowering, and I felt like this lifted me up. And I started preparing workshops and trainings to be delivered online.
Yes.
And to keep my body healthy, I started exercising on the balcony at first.
Oh,
Yes. And I used to, instead of carrying weights, I got bags of rice or sugar or whatever I had at home. And I added sometimes I carried water. So, I found a way to manage things around. And the soul reading, reading and connecting with my family, this really enriched my soul during the lockdown.
I
And
am
of
so
course,
glad.
not to forget prayers and the connection with the creator, which became much stronger, by the way, in that pause. I can say that the world had a pause, and the creation between us and our creator was really powerful as well.
That is so true. Yesterday, when I was doing a video, I was talking about harvesting the good, even from a bad situation. And one
Yes,
of the things that I spoke about was that this, this virus has made us to see how interconnected we are in the world.
yes,
It has made people to care more for others because I know you have to be safe for me to be safe.
exactly.
It has brought so many people to our
Yes,
supreme being. You and I are people of faith, so we always go back to
yes, that's
God.
so true.
I've seen so many people turn to God. At least that is something. So
It
can you
is.
tell us about yourself? I know I did read your profile, but that's just a snippet of who you are. Can you tell us who Sadika is? I'm so
Okay.
excited. Yeah.
So very simply, Sadia is a mother of four, a grandmother of five.
Oh, wow. You like a
Yes.
grandmother.
And I am, you can say, a person on the journey of becoming human.
Oh, wow. So
Because
cute. Can somebody type
because
that on the comment? Can you say that again so they can put it on the comment?
yeah, I am a person on a journey of becoming human.
Oh,
Because
wow.
along the way, I discovered that it is true that we are born with that label of we are human, but I now know that my purpose on this planet is to become human along the journey, because we humanity is something to be discovered, experienced, and implemented. And it needs a hands-on workshop, if you want. So the life is a hands-on workshop for becoming human.
Mhm. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That is something that is so huge. We don't just take for granted that we are human, but
Yeah,
we are becoming human by doing the things that is expected of the human race, I guess. So that is
exactly.
how we become human.
Exactly.
So if I may ask, what are you passionate about and what led you to your passion?
I'm passionate about people and helping people. It's a passion that comes from the soul, you can say.
Mhm.
And what led me to that is an experience which I had when I was 10 years old. It was during
Mhm.
the civil war here in Lebanon. And unfortunately, on a day which was known as Black Saturday in Lebanon, this was on the 10th of December in 1975, um, my best friend and my soulmate, I can say, and my classmate and my neighbor, Jana, and her family were killed or slaughtered, actually.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, the slaughter was at the hands of Christians, because at the time in the civil war, everybody lost it. The 18 sects in Lebanon just lost it. They went crazy, and they stopped each other's at barricades, and they asked for identity. And if your identity said whatever you are, if you fall into the hands of the opposite sect, you were doomed. So unfortunately, I lost Jana and her family on that day. But I was one of the lucky Lebanese who got her therapy at a very early age because after exactly 2 days, not 2 days, sorry, 2 years, our neighborhood was heavily bombarded. And my father had a priest friend whom he was raised with. They went to school together, university together, and we took refuge at Uncle George's house. And Uncle George, the minute I stepped into that house, the first thing he did is that he changed our names. I was called Mary. My brother was called Joseph. My father was Eli, and my mother was Anna.
Oh, wow.
And he was like, yeah, he was like, Sadika, as long as you're here, this is to be memorized as if you're memorizing the Quran or the Bible. Don't you ever forget that. And then in the evening, his door was knocked on violently, and he immediately knew I found myself in his arms, and he gave me his Bible, by the way, and he told me, hold that Bible close to your heart because it will keep you safe. And no matter what happens, don't look at the door. And he opens the door. And of course, you know, a child is very curious. I had to take a peek. And I found 10 armed masked men standing on the doorstep of Uncle George. And they asked him to hand in the Muslim family he was hiding. And Uncle George said, no, this is my brother, my immigrating brother who's visiting from the States. If you would like to come in, I can introduce you to him and his family. And it was a matter of minutes and they were gone, just disappeared.
Oh, wow.
And
Oh, wow.
yeah, and here my world tumbled, you know, and it was like, what's happening? 2 years ago, a Christian took the life of my friend, and now 2 years later, a Christian is saving our lives. And Uncle George was one of those leaders that John Maxwell talks about, the one who lead the way and show the way. Because the next day he woke me up for my morning prayers, and he sat next to me with his rosary and Bible, and we would pray together. And imagine for 6 months, 5 times a day, which are my prayers in my religion, he would sit next to me, and after each prayer, he would repeat, Sadika, my little Mary, when you hold God in your heart, the human he created reveals itself by serving others. And then, and only then, even your enemy becomes human.
Oh, wow.
Renee, this was so powerful. At first, of course, as a child, you do not grasp the meaning immediately, but
Mm-hmm.
this has become my philosophy in life. Uncle George's philosophy is my philosophy in life. And slowly, slowly, I embodied this philosophy. And this is how my passion towards people and my love towards people grew over the years, no matter who these people were, no matter where they came from, no matter the religion, no matter the nationality, no matter the race.
That I can attest. So this is, you see, I have goosebumps on my body.
Oh,
Next question I want to ask is, what are some of the challenges that you had to go through as a Christian in a predominantly Muslim world? Having moved from a Muslim to a Christian, what are some of the things that you had to face in your life?
no, by the way, I did not convert.
Okay.
I'm still a Muslim, but I'm, if you want, I'm a Muslim with this open mind that
Okay.
believes that we all are coming from one source and that all religions are from one source.
Mm-hmm.
And what Uncle George has really instilled in me, he said, Sadiqa, never ever try to change a person if they don't want to change because you will break them. People are so delicate, just like a vase. And you know, I feel that I'm a Muslim, I'm a Christian, I'm a Jew, I'm a Buddhist, I'm a Hindu. I feel that I'm human. And this is what I was telling you from the beginning. I'm on a journey of becoming human. And I feel this journey is to embrace everything and is to be everything at the same time. And I don't even like to be labeled as a Muslim. I like to be labeled as a human who has a huge heart and a huge open mind to everything.
Yeah, when I read your stories in your book, I can really see you pouring that open mind on the stories that you write.
Yeah.
So I want to acknowledge our friends. There's Dr. Quinta Mancho who is saying, hi, ladies. Thank you, Dr. Quinta, for always watching. They are asking about the titles of the book. We are going to put the link of the book. You can buy even a Kindle edition. Hey, Lisa Whitehead, thank you for always being there for us. We have Francisca Epale from Toronto. She's one of our top fans and she's always on the show. If I don't see you, please know that I am so appreciative of the fact that you are watching. Please like the Facebook Live, share it on your page, encourage others to watch, give us a thumbs up, because like you can see what my friend Sadi is saying is something that so many people have to learn from. So then my next question is, most often people go through different experiences in life, such as
Yes.
pain, gain, and growth that tend to fuel passion in particular area. So I already asked you this question. What is, let me say, an incident in your life that changed you? I know you have talked about Uncle George, but what other things can you share with us that has helped
Yes.
change the trajectory of your life?
Yes. Well, you know, Renee, I got married at an early age. I was 17 when I got started my family. And I have three boys and a daughter. But my eldest son, my daughter is the eldest actually, and then I had the three sons.
Mhm.
But my eldest son, at some point, he fell ill, and I moved from Beirut to Tripoli, North Lebanon, because my husband is from North Lebanon at that time, and it was also during the civil war. So he fell ill, and in Tripoli, the doctors did not know how to diagnose him properly, but he was for a few days vomiting and he had this heavy diarrhea. And I had to take action. I felt I had to take action. I was very young at the time, and I didn't find enough support from my husband. And he felt like I was kind of dramatizing things. But you know, sometimes a mother's instinct tells her that something's wrong, you know?
Yes.
So I remember the day very much. On a Friday, I decided to take my kids and go to Beirut in a cab with a cab because my husband refused to go. He said I was talking nonsense, and because the war was still ongoing, and all the coastal roads between Tripoli and Beirut was closed. And the road from Tripoli to Beirut takes like 1 hour and a half during normal days. But during the civil war, we had to cross the road and we had to go from the mountains, and it took like 10 hours to get to Beirut. So he thought I was crazy and dramatizing stuff. But still, I made the decision. I took my two kids and called a cab, and we drove for the 10 hours. We reached Beirut at 6 p.m. in the evening, and there was this kind of a pathway between West Beirut and East Beirut because it was split into two, the Muslim side and the Christian side. And there was this pathway that takes you 10 minutes walk to cross to get to the other side of the city, the capital.
Mhm.
And the American hospital was on the Muslim side, if you want, of the capital. And this is where I was heading because my pediatrician was there. But this pathway, when we arrived, there were snipers everywhere. So the driver parked the car and we had to cross on foot. And imagine I was carrying my son who was really ill, and my daughter was like, my son was 2 years old and my daughter 3 years old. And we had to cross this pathway. So it took us, instead of 10 minutes, we reached at 6 p.m. We finished crossing at 11 p.m. because we had to hide behind sandbags, we had to hide behind walls to get across that. Then when I reached the hospital, the doctor, when he was just, they check him with his hands first, and he told me that there's something different on the right side from the left side in his tummy. He was admitted to hospital and they started the tests and they discovered that it was a bacteria called Shigella. So he was treated accordingly. But the doctor, when he suspected something different, he made further tests. And then the next day in the afternoon, he comes up to me and he calls me to the nurse's room. And he says, the first thing he says, Renee, to me was, "What have you done to your God?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And he said, "You must have done something great, because what happened to your son is not by coincidence, it's providence." We discovered that your son was born with one kidney. He only has the right kidney, and it's larger than the normal size. This is why I felt it. And then another thing that was miraculous that happened is that by chance, the chairman of the X-ray department was there with the interns explaining about how to read the X-ray. And by chance, your son's X-ray was among the X-rays, and he noticed that the canal between the kidney and the bladder wasn't in its place, and the urine was going back to the kidney. And you can give it 1 year, your son would have died intoxicated, and you wouldn't have known what happened.
Oh my.
So this was providence. This was God working in mysterious ways, because Uncle George has put that seed of love, that unconditional love within Sadika's heart that was open to any human. Because after I left Uncle George's house, and when I turned 14, I joined the Red Cross, and I volunteered, and I was helping everybody without any hesitation, So I felt like this is God saving my son and taking care of me and of my kids, because my other two sons were born with one kidney as well. And it was such a fight because I was on my own each time. My husband wouldn't stand up for me or wouldn't give support because always he had something to do, And going through this on your own as a mother was really, if God wasn't on my side, I think I would have broke. But I'm so grateful because he was there every single minute.
Wow, my friend, who would have thought? Nobody.
Yeah.
I am so I'm short of words. I don't even know what to say. So what would you tell other women who think
I want to share something. I learned out of this. There's a famous quote, I forgot who said it, but it says, "Pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice." Pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice. And I always chose not to suffer. I always chose to carry that pain and move on and continue to grow and help my family grow at the same time. So I really invite all women, we have such power within us. such power, but unfortunately, sometimes or most of the time, it's either the parents, either the partner, either society that tells you the opposite. They tell you that you are the weakest link, you are the weakest element in that relationship, or you are the weakest element in the society. This is not true. We women are, if you want, leading all the time. We are the mothers of the future leaders. We are the grandmothers of the future leaders. We are the matriarchs, you know? Keep this in mind.
Sadi, you just wowed me with your story. And I can't even imagine. And what I want to really highlight is the quote which you just said. I hope those who are listening to us can also internalize that. Pain is inevitable, suffering is a choice.
It's optional if you want.
You can go through pain and choose not to suffer because of the pain.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Suffering is optional. It's just optional. And this is through, I'm talking through experience. And once you suffer and you keep on suffering, you fall into that victim cycle thingy.
Yes.
And you get lost there and you cannot find your way out. And then there's something I learned which is really very important. When your past becomes a story, your perspective just changes. It's just a story.
You can say that again, my friend. That is what I have been saying on this platform. I say, use your story to be your power.
Exactly.
Use your voice to tell your story. Because once you tell your story, you get the privilege of telling your story as it is. You get to keep out judgment from your story, and you get the grace to write the ending of your story.
That's so true.
I'm so glad that we are on this platform, and we have so many people who are watching. They are like, hi, Sadika, that it's so great.
Hello, everybody. I love you all.
Hovlin, right from Jamaica, says, hi, Renee and Sadika. So Quinta says she blows my mind with her story. Oh, Francisca says the quote is by Haruki Murakami.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I can see Rodney watching. Thank you, watching from Cameroon. Sadiki, no doubt we kind of like attracted each other. Because
yeah, definitely.
I also believe in that philosophy that your pain does not define you.
Exactly.
You define yourself. Because
so true.
Everybody goes through pain.
No one. It's inevitable.
Smiles on people's faces.
Yeah.
Nobody would have known what you are going through if we didn't have this conversation.
That's
Looking
true.
at you, so beautiful. I've always admired you.
Oh, thank you.
Somebody is saying you don't even look like one day grandma. So if somebody just saw you, say she has it all going right.
Exactly.
But people need to listen to the story. I think just these stories make me feel like I'm achieving the objectives of this platform. I know that you talk often and coach professionals, especially women, on how to claim their power. I saw you during the recent riots in Lebanon. You were always at the forefront, and I was like, please, God, save my friend. I don't want to.
Oh, your prayers kept me safe.
Every time you didn't sit back, you were always at the forefront, leading people. And I looked at it, I admired this. Can you talk to us a little bit about this stepping forward in order to claim your power? Not sitting behind and waiting for us to do it, but getting into the arena.
That's so true. On the 17th of October, the revolution started in Lebanon, and you had the Lebanese the 18 sects, they were there just in the squares, claiming their freedom, claiming their reunion, claiming peace, love, whatever. And we were all there for this collective therapy. I called it, it's just a collective therapy. And I was there just to remove those images of the savage civil war that we had, and replace it with those beautiful images that were there in those squares where all the Lebanese came together as one people. And after 3 weeks, Renee, you had everybody erecting tents in the squares, and those tents were meant to be for awareness. And we had professors from universities, we had trainers, we had coaches, we had people from all walks of life coming to those tents, giving lectures, giving talks, speaking, sharing everything to grow together into a new, if you want, generation, into a new spirit of change to make this country better. And I felt like I had to do something. And what is best, Sadika, to be shared in those squares? And I felt as a John Maxwell trainer that the best thing to do is the 15 laws of Maxwell, because it's an amazing book. It's a book that really triggers and motivates every single person to grow and go out there and do that change. So Renee, what happened after a while, I had a group of teenagers mostly and youth getting around me, and especially women, because women, when they see uh, empowered women speaking, they just say, if she's doing this, I can do it, and they just join you.
Of course, that's the essence of
Yes,
this platform. That if
exactly.
you can do it, I can also do it.
That's so true, Renee. And you're doing such a great job on that platform. So I noticed,
Thank you, my friend.
yeah, after a few days, I noticed that there was this young woman who would come listen for like 10, 15 minutes, and then she would leave. One day she approached me on the side and she said, I really desperately want to grow. I really desperately want to change my destiny. And I was like, tell me, how can I help? And she said, can you see that apartment over there? And she indicated a certain shabby building.
Yes.
And she said, the second floor is my mother's brothel, and my sister and I work for her.
Oh no.
And I felt my heart going out to her. She said, how can you help me? I'm allowed only half an hour per day to go get whatever I need to get, or do whatever errand I want to get. And I cannot stay with you. I can't stay with the group. And I desperately want to leave that place. I desperately, because I can't read, I
Mm.
can't write, I can't do, this is the only thing I know since ever I opened my eyes to this world. And Renee, you cannot believe, on the spot, I was like, I will come to you. And she said, are you sure? You're going to have your reputation at stake. You're going to face lots of trouble. My mother won't allow you in without paying your way in. And I was like, I'll do it. And yes, I started equipping her, and I started going there, and I paid my way
Oh my.
to stay with her like for an hour per day. And but this girl, we started to read, we started to write, and at the same time we're doing the 15 laws of Maxwell, of John, and I'm translating everything into Arabic. And this girl, day by day, minute by minute, is growing and getting empowered. And she says, you are equipping me for a better life. And one of my um, callings, I feel, and this is something I always told my children, if you want to help people, you have to muddy yourself. you have to step into the mud and pull them up, because people in the mud cannot pull themselves up. You have to muddy yourself and reach out.
Great points. That's so
So
deep.
yeah, this has been also another philosophy in my life. So I have no problem whatsoever to step wherever you want without any hesitation to help another human being that wants to be helped.
Mm. Wow. Wow. You are just so awesome, my friend.
Oh, thank you, my dear. And thank you. By the way, people like you make me feel that I'm so grateful for being here. You cannot imagine how grateful I am for that.
Thank you. Thank you. That melts my heart to hear that. Thank you so much. It's an
My
honor
dear.
also for me. For
Thank
me to
you.
see. So, in your book, The Hidden Face of Scheherazade, you
Yes.
tell very heart wrenching and emotional stories. Could you tell our listeners what inspired you to write those stories? Are those stories actually true or they are fictions?
Okay. So those stories are true.
Oh my, you don't want to say that again, Sadika.
Those stories are real life stories. The only thing I changed is the name. And I wrote the big book in English on purpose because those people felt safer if their stories would be written in a foreign language for them to keep a certain, uh, a
Privacy.
certain privacy, yes.
Mhm.
But what inspired me is also, I'll tell you, it's community service. I've been in that field ever since I was 14, from the Red Cross to many other NGOs and many other stuff. And Uncle George's philosophy, again, when you hold God in your heart, the human he created reveals itself by serving others. And then and only then, even your enemy becomes human. Uh, and I lived up to that philosophy. And when you go help these people and you just serve them, after a while, they just open up. They share that pain, they share that misery. And by the way, those stories are really, as you said, heart wrenching because they have no solutions. And I kept them as this without solutions because this is real life. Sometimes people don't have opportunities, they don't have chances to change. Like this young girl now, I feel that she will have the chance because she's getting ready to leave that nasty nest, as I call it.
Mhm.
But other people, not everybody have this opportunity, especially if you live in that neighborhood, the one I described in the book and most of those stories. It's one of the most underprivileged, it's under poverty level and the most underprivileged neighborhoods in the Middle East, according to United Nations. And yeah, and those people are mostly illiterate. They have nothing. I mean, zilch. They, I mean, the average income there is 50 cents per day. So you can imagine, um, yeah, how tough it is to face all the challenges of the daily life, if you want. And then what really inspired me also, I would love to share this with you because I learned also through my journey that the word message is made out of two words, mess and age. And your mess with age becomes your message if you share your story.
Oh my God. You can say that again. Please say that again.
The
Oh, I
word message,
see.
yeah, the word message is made of two words, mess and age. And with age, your mess becomes your message, especially when your past becomes a story, and simply a story, and it doesn't have any control over you, and you control it to inspire others, to empower others, and to tell them, if I did it, you can do it.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That is just all we need to let people know. If I can do it, you can do it. That has been my philosophy. Because like you and I, our mentor, John Maxwell, will always say, before you ask people for a hand, ask them for a heart.
True.
Once you get their heart, they'll gladly give you their hand. Because people really do not care how much you know until they know how much you care for them.
That's so true.
And the people with whom you work are so lucky to have you caring for them. I can just imagine the life of this little girl in the brothel. I can just imagine how she is feeling, getting to talk to somebody who values her, who does not just see her as a money-making article. And sometimes when we hear some of these stories, we think it's just fiction. But in your book, I read of a story that I was so pissed off. I was so mad. I was like, what would I have done in this situation if I was the wife of a man who gladly gives a young
His
child,
daughter. Yeah.
a young daughter, to his friend because he wants a favor? When I read that story, I wept. Tears came out. I'm like, I hope Sadiki is just making this up. I don't want to believe that this is a true story. And here you are telling me that it's a true story. We need to really get ourselves muddy, leave our comfort zone, and see what other people are going through.
Yes.
And understand where other people are coming from.
Yeah, that's true. Another thing I learned also, Renee, through the Civil War, and I call it my golden rule. It's the STFU golden rule.
Mm-hmm.
Seek first to understand. Seek first to understand. Those prejudgments we have in our heads, they just have to be shoved off. And we have to seek first to understand, because behind every face, every name, you have a story. And our stories makes us unique, just like our fingerprints. There's not one single fingerprint alike in the world, and there is not one single story alike in the world, but we all share the same feelings, the same emotions, and this is what links us. The feelings and the emotions are the same, but the experience and the story is different.
You can say that again, my friend. I'm sure
Yes.
I'm going to make you a co-host to this show.
Oh my God.
Together. Because those are the things I have been saying. Preconceived judgment.
Yes.
Don't see somebody and just judge. You never know where that person is coming from. You
That's
never
so
know
true.
the story. Like I was listening to, there's this renowned coach, Michael Neal. One of our John Maxwell coaches too introduced me to him. And I've been listening to him, and there are a lot of things that are changing in my life, because he referred us in one of his teaching to Sydney Banks' book. I went and read that book, and there was one thing which I learned, which I always say on this show. Where you are on this show, just listen. Listen to feel. Listen to learn. Don't listen to argue. Don't listen to criticize. Don't listen to judge. Don't listen to give your opinion. Just listen.
Yes.
Because
True.
when you come along with a listening ear, you get to understand, feel, and learn from other people's story.
Yes.
That is just another way of saying seek first to understand.
Yes.
Don't see me today talking here and judge me from where you met me.
Yes.
Try to understand where I am coming from and why I am doing this.
Exactly.
Why am I here on Facebook? It is not just for me to come out and just for people to see me, no. It is because of my own background and what I have gone through. And I felt that bringing other people to come and talk about their lives and what they are going through is a source of inspiration to people that can impact people and that can transform lives.
True.
Because if you sit in your own quiet corner alone, like I used to sit, you would think the whole world is crumbling around your feet.
That's so true.
But when you listen to other things that people have gone through, sometimes you kind of tell yourself, I don't even have a story. I don't even have a reason to complain because I don't even have, I have not gone through as much as my friend has gone through. And look at where she is. Look at the smile on her face. Look at how beautiful she is. I always tell my women folk, don't carry all your troubles on your face. No one is going to help you.
So true.
Carry it in your heart because God sees it.
Yes.
And I will always go back to what you said. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is a choice. If you are here listening to us, I don't know whatever circumstances you find yourself in. I don't know what you have gone through in your life. But Sadika and myself are here to tell you that we all have those pain moments in our life, but we choose not to suffer the pain. Like if I go to my Bible, Paul will say, your strength is seen in your weakness. Your strength is seen in your weakness, if I can paraphrase. So, as a person, I know we have talked about a lot of things. From when you started after your son's incident, what is the most challenging thing that you have ever gone through in your life? How did you overcome this challenge? And what are the lessons that you learned from them?
Yes. Well, now I'm going to share something. Maybe it's the first time I share with an audience.
We are so privileged.
And live.
Oh, this is a platform for authentic conversations.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, as I told you, my three sons were born with one kidney. And it was a long journey.
That is a miracle that nobody can understand.
Exactly, exactly. And I went through a long journey, if you want, kind of procedures were done, and it was a long journey of pain. And at some point, I lost it. At some point, I started feeling panic attacks. And those panic attacks, I know very well why I had them, because I felt alone in that journey. I didn't feel support. So I was panicking always. What if something happens to me? What's going to happen to my kids? Who's going to take care of my 4 children if I die? Who's going to support them? Who's going to continue doing what I'm doing for them? So I had those panic attacks that were like a heart attack, the same pain, and you cannot breathe, and you feel that it's the end of the world, and you're going to be leaving those 4 kids to no one. So after a month of having those, I pulled myself up, and especially here in Lebanon, it's taboo to go seek professional help from the psychiatrist and the psychologist. And I just went there and I took an appointment and I went on my own because I said I have to be healthy, mentally healthy, physically healthy to keep going with those poor children of mine. So I went there and I sought help. And after a year, I was fine again. But I felt that I needed to do something for Sadika, because I was always giving everything to those four children, if you want, and I neglected Sadika at some point. And I made a decision to go back to university. I got another BA degree in English literature. I got my teaching diploma. I did my master's in comparative literature. And then I discovered training. After I taught at the university for 5 years, I discovered I love people and I want to reach out more and more to people. And I need to do training and workshops and stuff. And I stumbled on John Maxwell and I joined the John Maxwell team, and I started growing as Sadika, and I saw the added value I had, uh, not only for my kids and family, it was also for the community, for more people around me. So, and yes, I was into that mess. And John says, he says, there is nothing like failing. It's just falling forward. It's true. I fell forward and I stayed down there to clean up my mess. You have to clean up your mess. You have to understand why you messed up before picking yourself up, because some people have that huge ego and they just shove the mess under the carpet. They don't look at the reasons. They don't look at anything. They stand up and they fall into the mess again. No, Sadika stayed there for a while, reflected deeply, pulled myself up again, and just moved forward. And here I want to share something. I also learned that life is exactly like your heartbeats. You know how they go? Your heartbeats, this is life. Yes. So this is the first time I share this, Renee.
I need to change this episode to wisdom from Sadika.
Oh my God.
To wisdom from Sadika, because I myself, I am learning a lot. And let me tell you, let me be very honest with you. People ask me, Renee, why are you doing this? Are people paying to appear your show? Do you make any money? I say, no, it's not about the money. It's about
No, it's not.
It's not
Exactly.
about the money. Just the fact that my own life is changed too. Each time I listen to you, I get to tap from these golden nuggets that you know. You have Tahini El Wazi says, I have never seen a woman as inspiring as you. The
Oh my
vibes,
God. Thank you so much.
the vibes and hope you spread are indescribable. So you are touching the world.
Oh, I'm really so grateful to be here with you.
Immaculate B say, wow, this is so inspiring. Saint John, you are not late. You can still play the replay and know today, Sadiki, Sadiki, I'm just overwhelmed with joy because I wish everybody could listen because you just help me elaborate the objectives of this story. You just help my audience understand why they need to tell their story.
Yes.
And for that, I say thank you. So as a person, what are you most proud of? I know there are moments in your life that you are so proud of. What are you most proud of?
Yes. My children, I can say, my four children, because Renee, I can tell you that I multiplied the Georges in my life with those four children.
Oh, wow, that is so sweet. That is so sweet. I always
Yes,
tell people, I say my greatest asset in life are my children. Because, you know, that is the only asset nobody can take from you.
exactly.
Every other thing you have, somebody can take from you. But that
So true.
nobody can take from you. They can never change the fact that you are the mom. Thank
Yes.
you for bringing up great citizens of the world. From the
Thank
way
you.
you talk, who Rita says she blows my mind with her story.
Oh,
I like to read the comments to you. Farad Kassam says, pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice. You are such a great and inspiring woman, Sadika Kebbi. Everybody is wowed by what you are saying.
thank you
So
so much.
we are going through a program now, and we just learned something in life which we call never again moments. Your never again moments are things which you let go and you realize and you said, never again will I ever allow somebody to dictate the pace of my life. What is Sadi's never again moment? What is it that never again you allow to happen to you?
Yeah. Never again. Yeah.
Our audience, type your never again moments here so we can read them. Why Sadiki?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, my one of my never again moment is never again prejudge or judge anybody at all before seeking first to understand. Never ever do that. And yeah. And another never again is never allow anyone to take your pen and write your story. Never allow anyone to take your pen and write your story. Keep holding to that pen of yours and keep writing your unique story. Don't even let the fickle finger of fate to steal that pen out of your hand.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. So St. John says humanity needs many of you.
Well, there are plenty out there, I'm sure. And as Renee said, we attracted each other. Renee and I are similar in many ways. And I really believe that God works in mysterious ways. And I believe in the law of attraction. And he puts the puzzle together and he brings the people together that are like-minded and heart-minded and everything similar to give them that power and throw them out there in the world. And I believe there are a lot out there.
Thank you. Let me just refresh our mind how we met, how we got to even start taking pictures. You remember?
Yes, go that.
We left the hall and we're moving together. And is it you who saw me in my beautiful African where
Yes.
I love this? And I said, I also love this, your Lebanese outfit. Then,
Yes.
then our friend decided to pull us. He said, come, let's go to the gym. I was like,
Yes.
I'm not dressed for the gym. He said, yes, but let's go. I said, I'm not dressed for the gym. He said, I know, but let's go to the gym.
Yes.
We just walked to the gym together, and she made me do exercises in that attire. She said, don't worry, it's not the attire that matters. And you
It's
know
true.
how she will laugh, say, Rene, what is that you are doing? Come on.
That's so true.
So that is just how God brings people together.
That's so true.
And you know, we were already planning, and I was saying, I love to visit Lebanon. And of course, I like traveling.
Oh,
I would love
yes.
to
You have to.
visit Lebanon. So before we round up, I don't want you to go without telling us something about your NGO, Kun and Sam.
Kun insan.
Not the pronunciation.
Yes. Kun insan.
Mhm.
So kun insan means being human, actually, and it is the philosophy, the embodied, if you want, philosophy of Uncle George that came true after long years of community service and serving people and serving others. And I also learned, Renee, I want to share this, that history is only his story. It's only always the story of the winner, the story of the powerful. And what made me believe that history can be changed, because we hear all over the place that history repeats itself. It's true because we don't share our personal stories. It can only be changed if we share our personal stories. And Kun Insan, the NGO, the main uh, objective is social cohesion and peace building among the 18 sects in Lebanon, in addition to women empowerment and youth empowerment. And so far, I've done projects and I've seen the results. Magic just happens when people stand on the platform of being human and share their personal stories, and they start saying, oh yes, this happened to me. And when I share Uncle George's story, I have Christians coming and saying, yes, a Muslim hid me on that day. Yes, a Catholic hid me on that day. Oh yes, I remember an Orthodox hid me on that day. And you have magic happening, and all these labels just vanish and disappears, and you're simply a human being connecting with another human being, and even your enemy becomes human.
That's something that I have been saying. That's why I say, in fact, you'll be a co-host on this show, because that is the thing that I've been struggling to let people know, that sharing your story is a gift to humanity.
Oh yes, it is.
Because like I said, the inspiration came from the fact that I work mostly with my church women. I've been a facilitator in my church women, we call it Christian Women Fellowship, for the past close to 26 years.
Wow.
And I have always had this privilege of listening to their stories, because they trust me and they come to tell the stories to me. So I always try to make them talk in the group, share their stories in a group. And
Yes.
just like you said, you see magic happening. Somebody shares a story, and then somebody turns and says, did you tell her about my story? I said, why would I tell your story? He said, because that's my story. I said, I always told you, you are not alone. And
Yes.
let me tell you, it is this work that I was doing with the women that pushed me to join John Maxwell, because
That's
I wanted to know more, to gain more skills. I didn't really join John Maxwell to make money. I joined to use the skills to help the people, because I discovered that a lot of them needed help, but there was nobody to help. So that is one of the reasons why I decided, I said, okay, I have been working in a smaller sphere only in my church. I want to now open this, my voice, your voice, from the title. What I'm simply saying is, my voice can be your voice.
Exactly.
And I'm creating a platform for authentic conversation. I don't want people to come here tell lies. I want people who are ready to be vulnerable. And I want to thank you for being vulnerable and telling your story. Of course, you know that you are not alone in that story.
Exactly.
The truth about it is, for you to be able to recognize that you were on the ground, clean your mess, stand up, and move on. Everybody has been there. Everybody. If they don't want to say it, they are hiding the truth. But you and I, we are coaches. We've worked with so many people. We know that they have been there. And some people get stuck in one point in their life, because they don't want to share their stories. That's why you see people start having all these mental issues, depressions, because of bottle up emotions, bottle up stories, which they don't want to open. I was telling somebody, your first treatment is opening up and saying what is in your mind. True. And so if you are watching and you need a coach, you need somebody to cheer you along, don't hesitate to contact my friend.
Oh, thank you. By the way, you reminded me of something. You know, when suffering starts, the first minute you keep quiet. The first minute you stay silent and you do not share what's happening. This is when suffering begins.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So you can contact us. I always say when we do this, we have a free or complimentary 30-minute coaching. If you contact us, I will put the website at the end. I'm alone, so I can't be doing that at the same time. That will it will make me to look down the type. But after the show, I'll put our website there. You can contact us. You can go to our Facebook pages. If you just need somebody to talk to, we have a listening ear. We will listen to you. We listen without sermonizing. We listen to you just because we want to give you a space to share your story. So we are there to listen to your story. Again, if you are just joining in, this has been My Voice, Your Voice, and this is the 9th episode. I cannot believe. Next week will be 10. Yeah, I will be celebrating. Next will be the 10th. If you love what you heard today, please do share this. I think for Sadika and myself to come here and talk, we are ready for the story to go because we want the story to help other people. If we do not want our story to be shared, we will not first of all sit here and say it. Share the video, encourage people. You never know who is in this same situation, and listening to us might inspire that person and transform the life of that person. Please, if you love what you have heard, share the story. Thank you so much, my friend.
You're most welcome, my dear.
One last word for our audience so we can. I want to be so grateful. I know it's 11 p.m. now in Lebanon.
It's fine. It's okay, my dear. It's okay. Just the one word I would love to say is I'm so grateful to be here. So grateful for Renee. So grateful for all of you out there. God bless you all and stay safe. And please, I want to share something. The word crisis in the Chinese meaning of the word crisis carries two meanings: danger and chance. Danger and chance. Please transform danger into opportunity and another chance. I hope the coronavirus, this pause or this global pause made you reflect and discover the better you within your hearts. Stay safe and hope to see you one day physically. And Renee, I really want to hug you. A virtual hug. I love you so much.
You have a... I can't wait to hug you again in March. I can't wait to hug you again in March. I am so blessed to have people like you in my life. And you inspire me every day. I can't wait to get those Lebanese goodies that you know. Oh, when coming in, just bring a big.
I will. I will. For sure.
I am so glad. My regards to your family. My regards to women. Now it's Zoom. I don't mind doing trainings with you on Zoom. If you think there is anything which I can help to do in your NGO, don't hesitate to call me. Set up. Renee is always ready to help. You know, our mentor says, one is too small a number to create significance.
Really, it's
and
so
I keep
true.
saying women, the earlier we stop competing,
yes,
the better for us. If we pull, I always say, if all the women were one woman, what a great force that will be.
Yes, yes.
If we can put our skills and complement each other rather than compete.
Yes.
We are going to be a force to reckon with. So I am available. If you want us to do a training on Zoom, the world has become a global village. Don't hesitate to call me. I am at your disposal.
I'll do that. And you reminded me of John Maxwell's book, Leadership. He says that you just have to shift your mind from competing to completing. We
Good.
actually complete each other. So yes, thank you, Renee, for reminding me about this.
Yes. So again, my friends, thank you so much. This has been very inspiring. If you didn't get to watch us live or you joined us in the middle, I want to tell you that there are some golden nuggets at the beginning that my friend Sadie gave. You want to go watch the video from the beginning. I'm also going to share it on my video, my YouTube channel, which is Renee Anita Empowers. Please watch it on the video, love and share. Subscribe to my channel, encourage us. We are here to complete each other. Join us in the team. Don't stand out. The boat is big. There is enough space. We are inviting you to jump in. Have a blessed rest of the Sunday. My friend, have a blessed rest of the night. Sleep well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Talk to you again soon. I love you so much.
Me too. Me too. Yeah. Bye. Bye.
Yeah. So.